For me, I don't trust Indiegogo, not because of the platform, but like you said, they don't have as much of the built-in audience that you see on Kickstarter. When people are backing your project, like, oh, did I back your project? You never actually told me, and then I got the flu. I don't know if I backed it. So this would be a good time for us to actually check out if I backed it. And if we don't, I can actually show you, and by you, I mean everyone watching, that...
Oh, my.
So here, when I back this project, so the first thing it's going to do is it's going to send it out to everyone. So what should I get? Do I need the digital deluxe? This is the comic, the 15 or more, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm getting the comic. And the cool thing is that I live right next to him. So I can just see it next time so he can well, he can keep the shipping. So it'll help him. It's like giving him a donation because shipping is the worst thing. Of course, the phone is gonna not pick up. Oh, there it is. All right, there we go. So now this is the important part. See where it says thank you, bringing all that. Now it gives me an option. I can go to Twitter. I can go to Facebook. So then you do both. You tweet it out. Like not enough people do this after they back a project. So I'm actually kind of glad. You guys can't see because it's off screen at the moment. I'll bring it on screen. Here it comes. So now I can even put it in my story, right? And because it's a direct connect, Facebook's algorithm actually lets these pass by a lot easier because it's directly set up through Kickstarter. And I found that out from a friend that if you do it that way, that's how it works. So pretty cool, right? So now
awesome. Thank you so much. Oh my God.
Well, I told you I was going to back it. It really was just I hadn't gotten to it. Because when you do this show, you have a list of things. And I meant to do it when I went home that day with the awards. And then, as you can hear, I'm still coughing. I got sick, and then that was it. But now it's time to play Kickstarter Gong. And now I've explained this to Peterson. He knows what's going on. But for you watching at home, you might not know the rules. We'll go over the rules real quick. I start playing a video. And then Peterson raises his hand when he thinks that he's seen enough. And then he's going to explain to us why he's seen enough. This is a 1-hour program, which means we're going to go to 2 o'clock. So from now till 2 o'clock, we're going to watch as much as we can. We're going to break at the last 10 minutes for Peterson to say goodbye and us to read any names we didn't get to cover. Kickstarter season's in full blast, so there's a few that are now really, we got a lot on the show. So we're going to do the best we can, but here we go. This is starting with Totally Rad Comics. Now, the annoying thing about this video is we have to mute it because it makes really bad sounds at first. So when you notice it's not making sounds, that's on purpose. They're annoyingly loud sounds. So I'm muting it. So this is on purpose that we're not hearing because they use static electricity for whatever reason. And like I said, anytime you feel like you want to change the channel, just raise your hand. You can see it, right?
Yeah, so, yeah.
All right, here we go.
I can hear it, but I don't see the video.
You don't see the video? Okay, let's see.
No,
Can you see it now?
No.
Huh.
Like music.
All right, let me see if we can switch around what you see. Give us a second. I'm going to keep playing the video while I figure this out with Peterson. Peterson, can you see that?
Yeah, now I see.
All right, so we'll just let this play from here. Oh, here it comes, the annoying sounds. All right, you can see it, right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right. So, why did you tap out? I'm gonna have to switch you back and forth. Let me know if you can't see the video after this, but I'm switching back to you so you can give your answer. Why did this lose your interest?
There's not enough of the comic, not right off the bat. You know, I'm getting a lot of music and like panels, like single panels. I don't see like the page itself, which is what I'm interested in. If I'm seeing a comic, I want to see the whole page. I would like to see somebody talking to me, you know, instead of just like flipping back to reading. That's just me. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. There's always problems when people don't start with something that drags us in. And it's a shame because when you go to the Kickstarter, it has a lot of great art, but they just don't do it.
Yeah.
Now, this one I want. Can you still see the screen good?
Yeah.
All right, so this is made by Madeline Holly Rousing, someone that made a book on Kickstarter. So check out what she did. And just because of, make sure that I know that you're tapping out. Just when you're done, just say I'm done. Because sometimes I'm going to switch to the screen so you can see it better. Okay?
Sure.
All right. Let me know if you have any problems seeing it.
Hi, my name is Madeline Holly Rousing, the writer, creator of the steampunk supernatural series, Boston Metaphysical Society. Welcome to our Kickstarter to print our brand new story, Ghosts and Demons, along with the first ever Boston Metaphysical coloring book. For those of you who are not familiar with the series, it's about an ex-Pinkerton detective, a spirit photographer, and a genius scientist who battles supernatural forces in late 1800s Boston. In the new story, Caitlin and Alma have continued Mary and Frida's work as union organizers, but Caitlin has a disturbing dream about her childhood friend, Duncan the Ghost. This has her worried, so they decide to return to Boston to find out what's wrong. Though it's a happy reunion with Samuel and Granville, something much more sinister awaits them and the team. Now, the story is 35 pages long and is in a 44-page perfect bound book. Gwen Tavares is also back on board doing the art and coloring. For the coloring book, we have 20 wonderful illustrations done by Alejandro Lee, and it is suitable for all ages. The best part is that both books will be ready to go to the printer by the end of the campaign. And for those of you who are new to the Boston Metaphysical universe, the trade paperback of the original series will be available, as well as our sequels, Scourge of the Mechanical Men and The Spirit of Rebellion. So please take a look at the reward tiers on our Kickstarter homepage and pledge today. Thank you in advance for your support.
That was pretty good.
There's a little bit more, but she did have like a strong beginning. This gives you the art for the project.
It keeps going. All right, I'm done.
All right. So why did you pull it at that point? Did you feel like you just knew enough at that point?
Yeah, it was a very strong beginning. And it looks like some of the images that she showed me in the beginning is getting like it's being shown again here. So I don't think I need to see this. But I love the video. They're moving the art, which that was cool. It was like, you know,
do you know
very
how
interesting.
Do you know how they say I want to be like Mike?
Right.
In indie comics, I want to be like Madeline. Check out how many backers she has.
Good God.
Right? Forget Mike, right? I want to be like Madeline. I want to grow up to be like Madeline. 500.
And this is like what the third time she's doing this. It seemed like she has like a couple of issues in there.
Let's see. She's created 8 Kickstarters. I know that one succeeded in the beginning, but then one failed, and since then there is no stopping her. She runs a great campaign, stretch goals. And you know what I like about Madeline? She actually talks about other creators during her campaign. So she doesn't just make it about her. She makes it about some other creators, which is really cool of her. We did have.
I wish I would have. The way she like spotlighted her artists and and other people. Like I wish I would have done that on my viewer as well, because the colors that I'm using is like phenomenal artists. So I think that's a note that I'll take from her. I might write that down.
Now, someone in the chat room who we didn't know about this Kickstarter, Jeff Weber, apparently went live. And that happens. Sometimes people go live and I don't get a chance to cover them. He actually wants your opinion on it. So we'll play it right now out of order because it's not even on our program today. And only has 16 days to go, so it's not a long Kickstarter. So check this one out. I'm just making sure that we're lined up. Here we go. And
12 student prodigies. 1 national science fair. No chance of survival. The experiment has begun.
All right, guys, this is the biggest project.
all right, so why are you done?
I'm not crazy about the art, and it's like I know it's crazy to the art itself didn't capture me. So based on the art, like the video was really cool, but like based on the artist, because I'm whatever. I'm an artist.
Well, I mean, it's
But
true.
the art,
Art's not always going to be for everyone. I have a book called And They Call Us Monsters. You've seen it. It's got different art. Not everyone appreciates it, and that's an honest thing. It's not a dig on anyone. We all work. You're a consumer at this point watching these videos.
Oh, Dad.
that's cool.
All right.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, he just finished his nuggets. He wanted to show me. What a good boy. My little nugget kid. All right, so Jeff, we'll have you on the show. We'll make you play the Gong Show soon. This is Jeff Weber, and we'll get you on the site later on today, but we're going to head back to our list and see what's next. Oh, this is Guano Guy. Okay, so he's a friend of mine. I really want to know what you think of this video, because I kind of helped him make this video, and it's very quirky, and I love it, and this is Guano Guy number 2. Here we go.
You might be buying.
I am.
Hi, I'm Mark Darden, and thanks for finding your way to the Guano Guy Kickstarter. Boom! Pow! Epic explosions! Yeah, this is the second Guano Guy Kickstarter. The first one had these 5 comics. Ooh. But now, we're back with a new 40-page comic with 2 beautiful covers. We're up to 170 pages now. Do you like rewards? You bet you like rewards. Who doesn't like rewards? Well, we've got them, right? We've got stickers, bam, prints, pow, posters, come get them. Who's the Guano Guy for? It's for everybody who liked The Tick, Darkwing Duck, the old Batman TV show. It's a lot of fun. We've got gags, insults, we make fun of criminals, and if you want to know more about it, check out the little post videos where I'm doing readings from the comics. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you'll help support. I'm Mark Darden.
So what'd you think?
Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah,
Right?
I love that's. It's like it's one take. It's just him. What else? But everything he's saying is like need to know. So he's giving you a bunch of information in a short period of time, and he's doing it very well. Kind of like a game show host. What did you do? Did you write his dialogue?
No, he was on the show, and we were just talking about pointers, and he was like, I'm going to remake the video. And I'm like, cool, dude, do it. He came back with this, and I was blown away. I was like, oh, goodness, that is great. So,
it's a great hit. Yeah.
I think doing this show and actually looking at other people's videos, I think that's a big mistake new creators don't do. They don't sit through other people's videos and really pay attention to when they lost interest. Because that kind of helps you, He keeps the interest. Demon Bitch. This is from our good friend Christy Shin, who is part of that book we were talking about that Madeline wrote. She was the illustrator. This is a little different, but it's definitely funny. So check it out.
Hello, it's me again, Christy Shin. If you weren't fortunate enough to participate in the last Kickstarter that I did of Demon Bitch, the Freedom Tour, well, I've certainly got a shitstorm for you folks now. Welcome to Off the Wagon, the Panhandling Tour. Yes, you can cry now. I know I certainly am. If you are a virgin to the cause, in short, Demon Bitch is a low-level demon from the 13th pit of hell where people throw their dog shit in gum wrappers. She wants to bring the second coming of Armageddon because she doesn't realize that the first one never happened. She is not smart. Anyway, remember that book by Laura Esquivel called Like Water for Chocolate? Well, it's kind of like that, except the recipes are shit and the stories are pointless and sad. Some of you might remember this asshole from my last Kickstarter, my good friend Tony Tilton. Tony has formulated some fantastically horrible drinks inspired by the one and only Demon Bitch. You may have seen our marathon drinking binge with Raw Dog of Real Deal. That was terrible too. Anyway, Like Water for Chocolate is a great book. However, this book will be a piece of shit. The newest book is entitled Demon Bitch, Alcoholics and Anonymouses, Used in Virgin. Perfect, since after my battle with a Casey Anthony pancreatic mass, I really can't drink anymore. No cancer, folks. The bitch didn't kill me, if you haven't guessed. What will be included in this book is about 90 pages of bullshit. This consists of terrible boozy recipes that are meticulously handcrafted by Tony Tilton himself, horrible fucking comics of none other than Demon Bitch and her asshole friends doing stupid, mean, pointless things, shitty sketches, and lastly, more stupid fucking fan art, which has gotten more rancid ever since I've started this piece of shit. If that's even possible. And speaking of fan art, included in the rewards for this Kickstarter are prints of renderings of Demon Bitch by none other than Mary Zorley Bellamy and Lawrence Raw Dog Hubbard. Oh, and so you've probably been wondering, who the hell am I? Well, I'm the creator of such titles as Sepulchre and Personal Monsters. See, I can really draw. A 2018 Ringo Award winner from Mind Anthology from Planned Parenthood, and I also do a weekly Tuesday webtoon of Demon Bitch inspired by how fucked up people are to each other. I also am a resident artist at the Hyde Gallery and Studios, curated 2 shows there, I Pitied a Poe in 2018, and Faster Pussycat Kill Bill in 2019. So, yeah, I've done a lot of artistic shit. If I make goal, expect 2 more pins as stretch goals, because who doesn't love vile and disgusting art cast in metal? Oh yeah, also my friend Yoon-suk also created a sticker as part of the rewards. She does a fucking kick-ass zine series called Korea Angry, and she's fucking rad as hell. If there's any monies left over, as long as Demon Bitch doesn't go on a 3-day cocaine and Jack Daniels bender, it will go to more product R&D, production of more supplies, prints, and more books to restock for all the events I will be attending this year. So alright, hoes and gents, as H.P. McElwee said, come and get on the wagon and not off it, as we need your loves and doves. Thanks for your support and enjoy the ride off the wagon.
Alright, so what do you got as thoughts? I saw you giggle
I like
a lot.
It's very different. It's like making fun of itself at the same time promoting itself, and that's a very interesting way to do it. See, now with this, the artwork is, sketchy, but because she has the jokes and her witty personality shining through right at the beginning, I didn't mind. It's kind of like South Park, when it first began, because it was so freaking funny. You don't mind, the way it looks. So I think, I don't mind, like, art not being, stellar or whatever, but I don't know. I think I like to see more of that if the artwork is going to be,
That makes total sense. It's funny, a friend had recently told me that because we were having the same talk about it, we were talking about my book and how people don't really like my book as much, the Monsters one, because the art is different. It's the creator, who you'll see some of his art in the show today, he calls it like humanistical. It's a very different style. I personally love it. But we were talking about it, I'm like, yeah, look at South Park. I mean, certain art doesn't really matter. He's like, South Park art got better. I didn't realize South Park's art actually did get better in the later seasons.
Yeah.
But you get so used to it. I went back and looked at the first ones. I was like, wow. I was like, so you're so right. If there's something there that captivates people, like I've had people read the Monsters book and they're like, it's a really good book. It's like, I did enjoy it. So sometimes story matters. And speaking of story, this is kind of an interesting story. It's Pink Puma and Red Rooster. So let's check out what's going on.
All right, I'm done.
All right, so what threw you? What made you want to change the channel?
Just not, right off the bat, like, hearing the creator, talking to me, all this stuff can be shown in like with dialogue. He could be talking over it, but I would really like to see more of the creator, who the guy is. Like the last one, we got right off the bat, we're like, oh, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm about.
So you would say for you, especially on Kickstarter, because it's a crowdfunding platform, you want to see who you're crowdfunding.
Yes, the creator. Yes,
that's fair. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't always go on camera for all of my stuff, but you always hear my voice. And I think that most of the time, you know me well enough. The people coming to it know who I am, and I don't hide who I am. It's very easy to find who I am. But I don't always go on the video, but you always hear my voice. I don't think I've ran a Kickstarter without my voice in it.
That's not a problem. Like I don't, like the last video I saw the whole thing. We didn't really see her talking in front of the camera. We just heard her voice. So that it's not a handicap. It's just any way that you can introduce yourself, to us, the quicker, the earlier, the better, I think.
All right. So I got some bad news for you. I've watched this today. It's only music. So I'll let it run. They're not saying anything, so you might not like this one. We even had an error loading it. So you can talk through it and just tell us your thoughts as we're going. It's a great series, though. I read the first issue. It was really, really good. But like I said, they didn't do a lot. So this is it. You're putting all your money now on the fact that people are going to sit through this and look at it. And the art is strong in this. I'll give them credit.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Like it's, that's what they're relying on. It's strong art. I like the video, the edits. I can't hear the music, but it's okay. I'm just looking through.
Well, I don't even think we can play the music. So unfortunately, it came up as copyrighted. So,
okay.
It wasn't like a major copyright, but you never know this day and age with YouTube strikes and all that. It's just better to be more careful. I think it's personally like a Ben Sound song, to be honest, but I didn't have enough time. We only got shown this in the last 20 minutes, so it was hidden in our group. So we wanted to cover it. So what do you think overall? What were your thoughts on it?
It's cool. I didn't really see page by oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So there's a splash page. Splash pages are kind of like, people tell us to stay away because you want to see like this, like sequential art. How the artist is breaking down action, how he's doing. So you see how it looks. And it's cool. I love the art. There's nothing like
Yeah, I mean. It's like the old saying goes, don't trust the commercial when they show you the burger, because when you go to the store, it's never going to look that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I definitely get what you're saying, and we say that a lot on this show, is that sequential art is necessary. So, and I definitely think they need to stay away from just the music. I don't like ones.
For sure. But it looked like it was like part 2. Did part 1 get funded?
Yeah, and it had an actual real video that explained things. So I don't understand the shift back. I think a lot of times people get to an issue number 2 and they think, well, we funded our first one, so everyone's just going to show up and throw their money at us. Sometimes people haven't even read your book. How many times have you gotten something in the mail and you haven't even opened it yet? I have books I haven't opened yet. So
that's true.
I'm not even trying to be rude. I just haven't gotten to reading it yet. You bring up another Kickstarter, and I'm like, some people, life just gets in the way. I mean, we all go broke at times. Sometimes we don't have money, or sometimes life happened and we're tight on funds. So never assume your same fan base returns with you. Always be ready to invite a new fan base. And you can tell that's in issue number 2. They're just continuing it. They're not inviting. And I think a lot of people make that mistake. They don't invite people into the project. Every time I do a Kickstarter, I invite people. I talk about what the project is to invite the new reader. And I always, even with Barbara Unleashed, we're on issue 4, I still talk about what the theme of the book is. And you'll see it a little later, because the 4th book is a little different. I actually have a video if we get to it. We have time. So let's check this out. This is Saku, I think. All right, so this is, I don't know. I think it's Saku.
All right, I'll stop here.
All right. So, what made you change the channel?
I don't like how the video is going. It's giving me like the information, and the artwork is not matching. It's like she arrives from hell, and then we cut to the art, and it's very cutesy. And I would like to see more of that. It's the words is telling me government agents are tracking her. She has, it's just I don't know. And again, I want to see art. I want to see the creator. And I don't know. I wouldn't back this. It's terrible to say, but I'm not interested through the video itself. Maybe because of the art is more like cutesy anime. Maybe they should have gone with something, a different tone, maybe.
I mean, I always say this with these videos. I love to read a comic. I don't love to read a video. If I'm watching a video, I don't expect to have to read. I expect to be, shown something within 60 seconds. Because your whole goal, when I first look at it as a fan, when I'm looking to see what it is and I press play, I would have been done in 2 seconds. The minute I saw those things, I would have fast-forwarded the video, see if there was a part where the creator talked about it. And if there wasn't, being a nice guy, because I'm an advocate for indie comics, I will look through the Kickstarter. But I'll be honest, if I wasn't doing this for this show especially, there's a lot of times I wouldn't bother looking at some of these because they're not giving me enough. And here's one, Crimson Scorpion Volume 1. Didn't even make a Kickstarter video. But when you go to it, if I remember correctly, they're doing just fine. So, well, actually, they made $422. So they're doing on Kickstarter. Do you think a video is necessary for you as a backer? Like, do you need to see the creator talking about it? Does that just help you make your decision?
It is for me because I'm a nobody. People need to.
No, I mean for you as a fan, as a backer, would you need to see a video?
It depends if I know the creator or not.
Okay.
If I know the create, like I've backed, I bought books from people that were putting out books and they didn't have a video, but I knew that they were good, they were awesome. And so, but if I don't know the person, yeah, I would like to see a video. I would like to hear more about the project, because they're taking my money.
Fair enough. And speaking of someone who wants your money, this is from Eugene. I think that's how you say his name. I don't know how to say the last part. I'm not going to ruin it. But this is Grayscale. Welcome to Glitter City. Karma's a bitch, and he's a bastard. So, here we go. Oh, it blew up. Hold on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The video's hijacked our show at the moment.
No way. What happened?
I don't know. It got real big, and it doesn't want to give us back the show at the moment. There we go. Exiting full screen now. There we go. I guess there's something up with Indiegogo today, because all the Indiegogo videos aren't playing. Because this is another Indiegogo video that's just not playing. There it is. I hate that beginning. Alright, here we go.
Stop right here.
Alright, it stopped. So, what happened?
I think all of these have like a common thread to them. Not much of the creator and we're like almost halfway into the video there.
Yeah.
And it's not telling us about the comic. It's giving us very generic, things that you hear from probably things that he heard from other comic books before, and he's just kind of like putting it in the video. I'm not crazy about the art. There's more thought in the video itself, in the beginning, the video itself, than I think the comic it looks like.
Well, it's a template. Doing this show enough gets me to see more videos than probably the average person, unless they're a viewer of the show. And if they're a viewer of the show, they'll see what I'm seeing. The same companies are making the... Remember I said at the beginning, I hate this beginning? Because I've seen that same beginning with that same music on 10 other Kickstarters over the last year. Because these companies are now charging creators, telling creators, no, this is going to be the best video ever. People are fundamentally forgetting something important. And I say this all the time, and people don't hear me. Kickstarter is crowdfunding. You're asking someone for money. You're not selling here. The prices are sometimes a little bit more. People are paying a little more because they're helping you build something. And some people do use this as a pre-launch campaign site. I get that. But you got to be mindful of that. You're supposed to be inviting people in. And like we've been saying today on the show, if you're not inviting people to know who you are, they don't know what they're backing. And on that video, and I think you saw it and I saw your eyes, they'd said that they were part of something and you just looked at it like, what does that mean? And that's the point. You don't know what they're talking about. And they forget that. It's like they build this thing for the 10 fans they have, not realizing that they're just not... If you are looking for your 10 or 15 fans, then just do it outside of this and message them and tell them to PayPal you money. But if you're going to do a Kickstarter, you got to invite people. And I don't think people get that. All right, so this has no video. We're going to talk about it. 2100 AD, Volume 1. It's a sci-fi comic. It's the rise of artificial intelligence, destruction, and dysphoria future. And that's it. We're going to move on. So this is The Unusuals. Same artist behind the amazing Monsters book that I love. You'll see his art. I don't know. We'll see what you think. I don't want to sway it. So I am the writer behind this. This is not my project. This is actually my artist's project. So check it out. So this is his video. And here we go.
Hello there, and welcome to our Kickstarter page. My name is Claudio Gerardo.
Sorry, what'd you say?
And you said you wrote it? You helped
I wrote the story behind this. He brought me on. Like, he tagged me and said, hey, I have an idea. Can you help me write it? And I'll bring you on as the writer. And I said, okay. And also, once it's funded, I told him if he gets funded on Kickstarter, it'll go under the Written Sins Comics publishing house. So that my publishing house will technically have published this. So he'll get the logo and all. So I like it. I'm a fan of it. But we're going to find out if you are. So check it out. And don't be nice. If you feel like changing the channel, be honest. You don't have to trust me. I have thick skin. It won't bother me.
I am a graduate of the Joe Cooper School of Cartoon and Graphic Art, Inc. Shortly after graduating, I began working as a freelance illustrator and then started having gallery exhibitions of my paintings. A couple years ago, I got back into comics and began doing an experimental webcomic I call Untitled. During that time, Untitled got a lot of favorable reviews. I also began contributing to some anthologies. The most notable one is the 27 Club by Red Steel Media. And in 2016, the 27 Club got a Harvey Award nomination for Best Anthology. I'm coming to you because I'm asking for your support to publish my comic, Meet the Unusuals. Meet the Unusuals is an experimental surrealistic adventure comic with a color cover, but it will be published in black and white. I came up with the idea, the characters, and the concept, and I teamed up with Mr. Anderson, who wrote the story and fleshed out the characters, give more depth. Mr. Anderson, or Rob Anderson, is the creator and writer of And They Call Us Monsters, in which I'm the artist of. Mr. Anderson also publishes Written Sins Comics and has a website called Indie Advocates, which helps advocate for independent creators. The story starts with a narration by Harrison Ripley, who happens to be the grandson of Robert L. Ripley, famous for Ripley's Believe It or Not. He tells a story how Robert Ripley fathered a child. That child went to America. He eventually got married and had his own child. And the child, Harrison Ripley, became an adventurer and treasure hunter. And he got stranded on a deserted island where he met an unusual dog. Now, the premise of the story basically is, what if ordinary people had unusual abilities? But we're not talking about somebody getting superpowers, making themselves a costume, giving themselves a superhero name, and do the marketing. They don't die, or if they do die, they become resurrected. We try to keep the story more grounded in reality. So there are no superhero costumes, there are no superhero names. The ages of the characters range from 26 to 53, and if they die, they die. So as Harrison continues telling his story, he tells about how he meets these unusual people. And these people and Harrison are then thrusted in a situation where they are forced to, literally, save the world. In a way, you could say that this is a combination of Doom Patrol and the X-Men. I printed this comic myself, but I realized later that I'm short in funds. And the $1,000 is to help cover half of my printing costs and to pay the editor, Chuck Pinot, who also happens to be the editor for And They Call Us Monsters. Anything extra that I make will be used to pay either for a top-notch letter or to go with a higher quality of print for the comic. But at this point, all I'm looking at is $1,000. I am also willing to do commission work, whether it's black and white or paintings of any character you wish. And I'm talking about Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch, any of those characters you wish. In conclusion, I want to thank you for your time. I do ask that you do support my comic, Meet the Unusuals, and let's get started.
So what do you think?
Very cool. Yeah, I like it. It's just like the other one where it's like no budget. You know, he's using what he has, but he keeps you in there. You know, like you're seeing the art. Right off the bat, he's telling us who he is, what the project is. He's showing artwork. He's giving shout out to. I wish whenever he gave you a shout out, he would show your book in there that he worked on. Like have the pages showing so other people could see that. But that's that's not a deal breaker.
Yeah, surprised he didn't. I mean, he's the artist. You'd assume he has the art still, right? Because all
could be right there, yeah.
Yeah, because it was watercolored, so I've seen the pictures. They're pretty solid. He even asked if I wanted to do them on the last Kickstarter, but he lives in Canada. Shipping to Canada will kill you, and I'm sure it wouldn't be cheap for him to ship to me, so I was like, don't worry about it. He actually never got his books from the second book, A Monster of a Betrayal. It got lost in the post office, and they didn't have an answer for it. They just didn't have the tracking number, never went anywhere. So they gave me a $50 credit, but printing books is never that easy because you can't print them by 1 and 2s quite often. So I told him I would hook him up when we do in a bigger art edition. But this is new. This is The Healing. This has kind of got a cool story behind it. There's a bunch of creators coming together on this. I've never seen this video, so me and you are going to watch it for the first time. Sometimes I like to do that. I like to watch a video live. This just got added to us the other day. And if it will play, I'm telling you, something's up with videos today. Luckily, we have all the links built in. Oh, I think I know what's wrong. I think it's
is the last one in Kickstarter or?
Yeah, that was Kickstarter.
Okay.
That's so weird. Yeah, I think it just might be my mouse though, being funny. Let me see if this one. All right, might just be. All right, we're gonna move on to New York versus the World, and I'll go back and I'll find the link for it, and I'll bring it up a different way. But in the meantime, while I'm doing that in the background, this is New York versus the World. It might be an open code issue.
What's up, folks? My name is JD, and I want to thank you for joining me on the launch of my latest Kickstarter project, New York versus the World #2. It's a 24-page black and white comic book based around the zombie apocalypse here in New York City. You always hear stories, or at least I always hear stories, about how when the zombie apocalypse happens, everybody in New York is toast. No. I'm sorry, that's garbage. First thing New Yorkers are going to do is they're going to blow the bridges and they're going to flood the tunnels. It's going to take them 15 years to clean out the city, and that's where our story starts. How are these people who were here cleaning out all the dead, all the corpses, going to treat the people who are coming to look for a safe place for them and their family? This is a 24-page black and white comic book written by me, illustrated by Craig Shepard, and colors on the cover for right now by Michael Summers. You're also going to have little incentives in our rewards, like brand new t-shirts that say New York versus the world, or pint glasses. Some people like to call them championship shot glasses, but let's call them pint glasses.
All right, so what do you got for this one?
I like, I like that he started out looking at us. We see the comic. We see, who he is. He tells the story. But I don't see the sequentials. Whenever he talked about the artist, that would have been a nice place to tag in some pages to show the sequentials. And it's, it's like, I feel like if you're not from New York, I feel like, oh.
Sorry about that. My sister was trying to call me, and now the computer's just playing it. No. I sent it to voicemail, and now the phone's just ringing. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can get it to stop. Okay, there we go. Oh, she left a voicemail. It must have triggered it. All right, I'll call her back in a minute. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so I'm trying to see about that other one. So it was interesting to you. You just felt like he lost you by going off onto something else. In other words.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like he has the comic. He has the arc and all that. I think the subject matter, New York versus the world, doesn't really interest me. New York already has that mindset that they're in the center of the world. So I don't know if I want to read a comic that kind of like perpetuates that. It might be a cool story. I don't know, but it's just not. I don't think I'm interested in the comic.
I think it's funny that you say that because like I didn't even being from New York, I never looked at it that way, but I can definitely see how it comes off that way. Because right away it's just that it's New York is gonna survive. You're all gonna die. All right.
Exactly. You're gonna come to us for help. Okay, so let's see this.
The healing is finally up. We got it to run. Here we go.
Imagine a cult is taking over the country. And the mind-numbed automatons who are members of this cult follow an incredibly charismatic leader who wears a mask. They promise to have the solution to all your problems and that they will make you whole. They call themselves The Healing. The Healing is really a comic book project that is our love letter to the superhero genre. We've assembled some of the strongest independent voices and truly legendary comic book artists to tell this amazing story of 5 unusual and unforgettable heroes who must stop the insidious plans of the Healing. Now is your chance to help us tell this fabulous story. You have an opportunity to enjoy a totally new adventure from the very beginning. By sponsoring us on Kickstarter, you get in on the ground floor and can pre-order this book in a variety of collectible formats. We certainly appreciate your support and consideration. Click the link below to join our Kickstarter campaign.
All right, thoughts on it?
I like it. It's cool. The artwork really kept me in there. I just kind of went. I like the pages that he was showing. It tells you right off the bat. They have 10 days left to go.
Yeah, 10 days. Okay. Yeah, 10 days. Oh. They've already hit their goal. I'm sure they're working on stretch goals, and this is like a big group of creators that are coming together to do this. So I thought it was kind of cool. It's The Healing, so I was pretty excited.
Yeah, and that's what you want from like a superhero book is like something new.
Yeah,
like not new, but like a different take. And it looks like they have one. It looks, it looks like a nice critique on society. It's interesting. Yeah, I liked it.
Very cool. All right, we have time for one more video, and then we're going to tell the world where to follow you, and then we'll read off the rest of the names. So here it is. Genesis will end our program by Jason Dubai. Doobie? I don't know. Doobie. Yeah, we'll go with Doobie. All right, so here it is.
My name is Genesis. I've been a teenage girl since the beginning of time. Yeah, and do you think you have problems? It is my sworn duty to the heavens to observe and only observe the history of humanity's time on Earth. But there are times I feel I can no longer just watch. Help me. Help me. This is one of those moments.
Just taking a wild guess you're not a horror fan.
No, I love horror. I'm just not getting info of the comic.
Yeah, a lot of people said that when we watched this. This has been on for a little bit. It's actually had a longer thing. I don't quite understand it either, other than she's been watching around. I guess she every so often steps out of the shadows to do something, is the impression I get.
Yeah, and that's a different, and I like that, how it started. It's like, this is the first video where the character from the book is talking and narrating to us.
Yeah, that was cool.
And it's like, okay, that's cool. I like that. But at some point, it'll be cool to hear from the creator or have the character themselves tell us about what they're raising money for.
That's true. That is something that the videos don't say anymore.
Exactly.
All right, so now it's about you. We're at the last 9 minutes of the program. So tell the world who you are and how to follow you. This is about you now.
All right. Well, again, Petterson. You can follow me on Instagram at NazarTapArt, NazarTap_art, and the Angel of Sadhill. That's the comic that I'm making. That's also on Instagram. Please do follow and comment on my posts. Right now, I'm doing a couple of projects, including inking my own project, issue 2 of the Angel of Sadhill, and it's getting better and better as I go along. Like the story is surprising me page by page because I'm writing and rewriting and redrawing and and it's very freeing. You can follow me on Facebook, Petterson Oliveira. You can see my art there. You can come see me this weekend in Miami at the Miami Con Sunday. It's a free show, so just walk in and come check me out. I think that's it, Rob. Is there anything else?
Well, let's just read off. Hang out for a minute because I want to say goodbye to you properly off air. Okay. Let me just read the rest of the Kickstarters we didn't get to cover today on the show. And of course, we thank everyone. And remember to support a creator by backing it now. We're going to close out our show. We will hopefully get to see these on the following show. Naughty by Nature by Sean Fournet. Aurora by Tom Rapicoop. And, of course, Petterson got his video played at the beginning. So, him being on, make sure we got to play his video. Aaron Ferrara gives us Book of Alexia, number 3. Here's my book we didn't get to watch, but that's okay. These things happen. We'll see it next week. Zombies Were Human 2, Volume 2 is now on Kickstarter. Dynamite, Thor, the explosive Golden Age superhero. No video to watch, just that image. So they didn't miss out. Neither did The Dude, Volume 1 by Galana T. Bourbon. And The Dude is on Indiegogo. Again, nothing to see. And then this is Sunspot. I don't know why his name is so big, but this is actually Sunspot. There wasn't, because it's on Indiegogo, they don't always put like an actual, mention, and he actually has the title as his name. It was weird. But, check it out. Remember, $1 can make dreams come true. It can show support, attracts attention, fund projects, supports creators, creates new worlds. And remember when I backed his book today, that sent out a message to everyone who's following me, and I think I have like 70 followers on Kickstarter. I don't even know how I got that many. But yeah, I think I've got like 70 to 100. I got to look at it.
Wow.
This is that book I was talking about from Madeline, Kickstarter for the Independent Creator by Madeline Holly Rosing and Christy Shin. And coming to Kickstarter soon from Specs Thomas, we'll have The View, The Legacy of the View, The Howl. From Martin Piero, which launches this Saturday, will be From Blood, Chapter 2. Sam Johnson comes back to us this next week. I believe it's next week, the 27th. Yeah, next week with Geek Girl. Stakes about to hit Kickstarter with David Bryan's amazing, what was a smaller comic has now become a full launch one. The upcoming project from Dust County Chronicles. This is Joel. You know Joel Rodriguez, right? You ran into him at this point on the floors, right? Peterson?
Probably.
He does the,
maybe.
What is it? Dust County Chronicles.
Yeah. That's okay. Yes.
Yes.
I met him and his wife.
Yes. All right. And this is Heidelbrand's Valkyrie. And that's coming on the 25th. In previews this month from our good friend over in Tinseltown. This is our David Blake Lucero. And he has a 10-page preview for you guys. If you like what you see, you can back the amazing project. We have time for one video, it looks like. What do you want to play on the show to take us home? As the guest, you get to pick.
Good, man.
Okay. Mine's a minute, so we might actually have time to play one on another way out. But mine's very different. Now I'm nervous. I'm gonna get judged by someone I have lunch with.
Today for you guys, I got something a little different. For those who are fans of Barbara Unleashed, you know that we want to have an educational aspect to everything we do. We wanted to take it one step further and try something out for this. So this is called the BDSM survey. This is a preview print copy that we had made to show off, and we've been able to give some people this on the road to get some feedback, and people have loved it. But when I say it's a BDSM survey, people have gotten very what could that mean? What is that? I found that the minute people opened it and flipped through it, they started to understand that this was going to be about them. This is going to be about them figuring out who they are and figuring out what they like and being able to share that with someone in a very non-threatening way, because you just get to fill this out and share it with someone. And of course, because it's part of the Barbara Unleashed brand, it has a lot of information. For those who've never read Barbara Unleashed, don't worry, it has nothing in here that you need to know beforehand. It'll only enhance the story to know the character, but it is not necessary. And we have some stuff that some of the readers might be, accustomed to seeing, maybe even some things popping back up, but they're important, and it gives you guys the ability to actually communicate with your play partners what you're into. And on the very back page, there's a place for notes. It's a very unique and different idea. We hope that you come along with us on the journey and get your copy of the BDSM survey today.
So be gentle. What did you think?
I like it. Well, the subject matter, itself keeps you in there.
Oh, thanks.
You're just kind of looking through the pages. You're like, what's in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's very cool. I'm always iffy when I don't see the person's face, but I can hear your voice. You're telling me about the project. You're telling me what it is, and I'm actually seeing it. So it's not, like I said, it's not a deal breaker.
Yeah, I think it
looks cool, man.
Thank you. I think with the face thing, I don't like being on camera very often, honestly. I don't mind being the voice of things. Just a comfort level with me, especially trying to do that. I would have to set it up and turn the book around. You'd be looking at me. It just made it. And I'm listed in the actual section. I don't hide. And I do think I have a little bit of what other creators have, where I think I'm too well known that I forget to invite myself to new people sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're kind of like the mayor. Everybody knows you.
Yeah, but I have to remember, in the bigger scope of life, there are billions of people. Billions of people don't know me, and I have to invite those billions of people to come and know me.
And it's easier if they can see your face,
All right, so what was the standout for you? We're going to close right now, but I want to know, what was the Kickstarters that you were like, wow, that's really cool? What would you say it was? And you can't pick your own.
No, yeah, of course, no.
I'd pick my own. No, seriously, what was it?
Yeah, the one where the lady with the I forget her name. You were talking about her.
Madeline Holly Rosing.
Yeah, even though I did stop her video, she had a really great video. Well done. The one bitch one. What's that one called?
Demon Bitch, right here.
Demon Bitch had me laughing. I think those two were really, really good. Guano Guy, I think those three, because, they're giving me information. They're trying to make me at least laugh or have a good time while while I'm watching the video while showing me artwork. And I think that's the best thing you can do with these videos.
All right, guys. So that's it. This has been brought to you by the Indie Advocates Network. I, of course, have been your host, the Indie Devil and the Indie Advocate. We invite you back next week, and make sure to check out the forecast tomorrow. And we're actually going to be covering Petterson for the forecast tomorrow because he's on the road this weekend. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Remember, it doesn't take a lot for you to be an indie advocate. It just takes backing Kickstarters, talking about what you like in indie comics, and supporting people by sharing what they're doing. We'll see you next week for another crowdfunding report.